Hello everybody, and welcome to this Q&A, where many crew members and other such inhabitants of this world can ask me questions that I am most eager to answer. As for who I am the captain, if you aren't already familiar. I am in charge of the Flameseeker, the noble vessel of which we all inhabit during our great journey to the Black Reliquary. Now, let's cut to the chase and start with some questions. Starting off strong. Are you married? I am married to my purpose. Which region of the valley interests you the most, and which one is the least? Oh, well, for favorites, there's this place you likely haven't thought of. It's okay, I don't blame you. It's not your job to know or anything, but it has this lovely little shop, and they make some of the best little pastries. Some days I am half tempted to bring the Flameseeker to more, just to treat myself to one. As for our least favorite, it has to be the catacombs. Yes, musky, dank, and the corpses. Every time we fly over it, I swear, the stench of death gets soaked into the boards for days. It does not help either that the lentine are there as well, who all want to kill me. So, yeah, I would say catacombs for least favorite. Could you tell me about your opinion on every hero, please? How much time do we really want to spend here? Yeah, I figured. I'll tell you this. I think Leper is a very respectable man. Next question. What are some of the captain's pet peeves when on the ship? Gosh, well, the odd corpse that springs to life when we dredge it from the sands. I suppose putting a firing range next to windows on an airship was also a subpar idea, and, yeah. Oh, and that blasted monkey. What caused the decision for the ship's main export to be refined amber dust? Why not export other relics found in the reliquary? They seem to hold value, at least to the archaeological vendor we met in the exposed interior. What made you think I was paying for all these gems and valuables? Those are our exports. Or at least they are also our exports. Have you ever considered giving the darkest estate a No. I'm not going there. No offense. I understand that the ancestor is a very stand-up fellow, to some, but I have heard very unsavory things about him, and I am not keen to visit his estate anytime soon. What exactly does amber taste like? It's bad. Stop! Don't eat the amber. Don't eat it. It's bad. Don't do that, please. We've had enough of that already, please. You've said that this desert is your birthland, but that it has changed a lot from what you remember. Was the reliquary always around, or did it at some point resurface, kicking change off? Well, I was born outside of the valley, and as a child it always had its perils. The worms have always, been here long before myself, for instance, but the roaming soldiers and band of matriarchs are certainly newer and, frankly, unwelcome changes. As for the reliquary itself, it has always been present. I just believe that it's finally beginning to dawn on others how dangerous and, to some, profitable it could be to explore it. Hello, Captain. While I do have a few things I would like to know, I'm curious about what kinds of gifts you'd like for your birthday. Nothing brings more warmth to my heart than yet another companion to take along in my journey. And perhaps a new stove in the kitchen. I really think the one we have is on its last legs. Can I keep the corpse of the Alraun on the ship for keeps? It isn't dangerous anymore because it is dead. Alright, first of all, if you bring it, congratulations, that is a very large corpse. And secondly, if you're bringing that on the ship, you're going to be that guy. No one wants to be that guy, alright? Don't. Please. Disgusting, seriously. Hello, Captain. You seem to know much about the reliquary and what it hides. Why do you strive so hard to discover what lies within? Is there a need to exterminate the monsters that may lie within, or something else? All good things come in time, my friend. Would you really want me to spoil the surprise? Alright. Let's say, hypothetically, of course, if I were to consume a cursed treasure, such as the totem of whales, then hypothetically speaking, if I were to use an alum sensor on myself, all of this, yes, hypothetically, of course, would I become malign similar to the cactanids themselves and receive similar properties, or would I get a tummy ache and cry myself to sleep? Yeah. Sleep. Can you... Sleep. Yeah. Yeah, okay, sleep. Yeah, sleep and tummy ache, sure. If you want to stretch the definition of tummy ache, yes. Yeah, sure, you'd get a tummy ache. Captain, what is your favorite blend of tea to have on a hot day? Earl Grey. But you would not believe how hard it is to get milk on a ship before it spoils. In your travels around the valley and around the world, what was the most interesting nation to you? The most interesting people? Interesting. The Osvendir. Perhaps for all the wrong reasons. Are you religious, faithless, or pagan? Yes. Why are the vestiges from the treasury so valuable? Who buys them when all they do to whoever holds them is scream, stab, drain life, and bring madness? Well, why do you buy all the horrible trinkets from Veronica? You know, money is money. I don't typically ask where it comes from or where it goes, so yeah. What is this Thrall like on a day-to-day basis? Is he nice? You think I try to hang out with him? Oh my stars, no. The man scares the daylights out of me. I'd rather hang out with an actual real-life skeleton. I would never hang out with this Thrall. No. And frankly, if I did, he'd probably kill me. You've commiserated on the lack of official support for the expedition. But if you had your free pick of nations, which would sponsor the Flameseeker? I'm sure if any of the western kingdoms surrounding the Screaming Sea would stop infighting all the time, any of them would be nice, Rhodos Republic, Savarus, we take literally anything. Obviously, help from the Osvendir would be tentatively welcomed if they would not currently a sinkhole of a piece of flesh, and teeth and eyeballs and what have you. What is the captain's favorite food? Oh, that's a good one. You just can't beat a good steak. I love me a good steak. Medium rare, yeah. Yeah, medium rare, that's a good steak. Marble too, please. Oh, it's so good with proper seasoning. Oh, my mouth is watering. If you had strangled to death any of the crew members on the ship, oh my, who would it be, and why would it be that monkey? Oh, you know me so well. Every good captain has a reserve of alcohol. What's in yours? Well, it's a selective taste, but I only ever consume alcohol in the form of a Bloody Mary. Many on the crew disparage my refined taste, but let it be known, I only enjoy the greatest of delicacies. Ever tasted amber? If so, how did it taste? Stop asking that. Stop it. It is not good for you. Do not eat the amber. Stop it! With such a diverse crew, how do you keep the peace on those of different faiths? Team bonding exercises, fantastic human resource department, and a lot of focus. Greetings, dear Captain of the Flameseeker. I am sending you this letter in hopes of achieving answers vital to the expedition. I am currently in charge of leading. Thus I ask, who are the Levantine, or more precisely, what is their aim here in the valley? They seems to be hostile towards anyone and everything not from under their banners. Warmest regards, Kalavi, leading member of Copper Campus Mercenary Group. First of all, thank you for a very well thought and eloquent letter. And secondly, it is a very loaded question. Best I can give you within a short amount of time is that this desert, it's basically theirs. It technically belongs to the Empire. The leaders of the Levantine are trying to get into the Reliquary, and the soldiers want to plunder it. There is a lot of money to be had here, and a lot of power to seize. However, I wish you the best on your expedition. Where's the bathroom? I can't find the bathroom. It's week 200, and I can't find the bathroom. Oh, please tell me that in your time on this airship, you have thought about going over the side. Everywhere above deck can be the bathroom, friend. Please approach me after this as well, and tell me if you figured that out before I stumble upon something truly horrific. Please. What is the helm that the fleet has? You seem to know something about it during the eclipse. Would you expect a helmet crafted by the Covarots to do anything good whatsoever? Some twisted form of immortality. To speak on it more makes my head itch just thinking about it. Would I get superpowers if I ate raw chunks of amber. No! Tell us about how you escaped the fall of the Osvenger Empire aboard the Flameseeker. Would it disappoint you to hear that it was truly just a case of being in the right place at the right time? I was at the harbor when the horrible, all-consuming evil began to devour the Empire. Off and away I went. Even more conveniently was the ship prepared for a fast and albeit shoddy departure. You can thank Chief Morgan for that. And that was my Q&A. Thank you all for submitting your questions, and apologies if I could not get to all of them. There were quite a few. But I appreciate your enthusiasm nonetheless, and I wish you all a merry voyage, and also Happy Halloween. Ciao.